Okay, good morning, everyone. It's 8:30 and we're having our Monday morning, February 28th meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. Welcome, everyone. First on our agenda is acknowledge the minutes from the previous meetings. We have meetings February 14th, February 16th, and
18.
February 18th.
I will second that motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to acknowledge the minutes from those meetings. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Let's move on to meet with our county engineer.
Good morning, supervisors.
Good morning,
Morning.
Dwayne.
Today is a testament that 35 degrees in March is much nicer than 35 degrees in October.
Yes,
Uh,
it's all the perspective, I
I came in
believe.
without my hat and coat on and was quite comfortable for the
Yeah.
short walk.
You know, it's girls' state basketball tournament. Usually we have a blizzard.
We're ready for it.
Somewhere.
That's
exactly what Steve said.
It's true.
It's not every year, but more often than not.
Right.
I think the forecast for this week looks awful good. The crews have been busy the last couple of weeks. We had a shot of snow 2 weeks ago, kept them busy. And they've been out continuing with the brush cutting and general maintenance. All of our graders are out right now. We're getting started. Mother Nature's helping find soft spots for us. So we'll be spreading rock this week as we can. Getting ready for the spring rush.
Yep.
Iowa Bridge and Culvert is starting on 2 projects works this week.
Good.
175th, the Vedic City combined joint bridge demo and twin box culvert replacement. And then up on 146th, the bridge reconstruction up there. So
Yeah, we got email notices on those. So, and I believe the radio station gets a copy of that as well.
yep, heard him announce it this morning.
Good.
Vedic City project should take 4 weeks. And the 146 should take about 8 weeks. And then first part of April, Herberger construction will move in on 257, excuse me. And start that bridge reconstruction project.
Yeah.
So we should have, realistically, we'll have all 3 of those projects completed this fiscal year, which
Good.
is a pleasant surprise.
Dwayne, I have a question.
Yes.
Did you have anything to do with the Round Prairie Park? You did that?
Round Prairie Park.
The access to the creek.
The boat
The
ramp.
boat access.
Not that I'm aware of.
I was told by somebody who shall remain unnamed that somebody had fixed that entrance to the creek.
Well, that would be
And
very
it
nice if
looked
that happened,
wonderful.
if that happened. And
It looked wonderful.
nobody
Yeah, you did
informed me of
it,
it, but it's very likely that would have happened by one of the guys with the grader out
but-
there.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Looking at this RPA,
Mhm.
and because I had a meeting last week, it sounds like there's some funds that are available still. I don't know if you need any more, but
The grant applications are due April 1st. I'm starting my paperwork on that. So yeah, that was the next item on there.
oh, sorry.
Okay,
They said they set up, that's why I included.
It just caught my eye because, you know, we had Area 15 and they did a whole presentation on this, and it sounds like there's some funding available, so
We've got
go for it.
in our account, we're sitting right now at 380,000. What we're looking at is holding out until FY 26 on that. So we'll have about $1.1 million on that. Right now, our farm to market budget with a 3-year borrow head available is at $4.1 million.
Mhm.
We're going to tap into some of that on 33rd and then also Nutmeg. But we're looking at a farm to market maintenance project this year that will probably run around $1 million or more, patching, maybe some asphalt leveling and chip seal. We'll kind of see how big, how much patching comes in and work our budget backward from that number. Because I think the patching is and repair of deteriorated pavements a higher priority than a smooth ride. So, and then our state transportation project, that's the RPA 15. Looking at our 26,170,000. And then our highway bridge project fund is at 2,480,000, which is what we're looking at the Libertyville Road Bridge.
Mhm. That's the one over Crow Creek.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just south of,
Just north of Juniper, east of Juniper.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, Calhoun is working on the design on that now. We're anticipating FY 24 construction.
And
on that.
then construction will be probably 18 months. We'll have to have a detour for traffic because it'll all come out.
Mhm. Yeah, it's going to be inconvenient when we're doing it. We'll also try and work some of our rehab on Libertyville Road at the same time, since the road's closed and traffic will be down quite a bit.
How
Right.
long the detour be?
I'm not sure.
Probably
You
haven't
either
figured that one out.
You either have to run them north to Old 34
Yeah,
or loop them down the gravel and loop around that way, but that's, so I think we'd be better off running them on
Hard service.
a hard surface as
Sure.
opposed to running, especially springtime of the year.
Well, and gravel trucks too.
and
Those
people
are-
that know
those are
the
hard
area
ones.
will know ways.
Mhm.
And we have been approached, next item on my list, by the Dewdrop Inn.
Uh-huh.
They would like to increase their parking. So about a 40-foot strip of our Libertyville shed, which all we do is mow it.
Mhm.
So I need you folks to kind of think what you might.
Well,
Believe
we would have to sell it for current market value. We can't just give it to them.
No.
Number one, and number two, we would need to have legal description written by you guys, or at least written by you and reviewed by the county attorney if we were to move forward with this. But they are, anybody that purchases county-owned property has to pay market value for the property so that we don't get ourselves in problems. We
Yeah.
can't do this $1 giveaway stuff
Mhm.
anymore.
No, I think it's a good
And,
idea
you know,
for
the first
selling.
step is to determine what that fair
Sure,
market
because
value
it'll
is.
help the business.
And the other thing with this property, which because of the layout of our greater districts, we are strongly considering discontinuing that shed and running 2 greater districts out of the main shop, because we already have the heated buildings.
Mhm.
Right.
We have
I
the
was gonna ask you.
capacity. So it's kind of silly to invest.
Well, then in that case, is there any reason to hang on to that land?
Well,
We would like to hold on to
That's
it
fine. I'm just-
until the construction on Libertyville Road is complete for
Good point.
contractor stagings. Otherwise,
hard
there
to
isn't much
Okay.
there. So
right.
Okay,
2025, 2026, somewhere in that window, we'd be able to get rid of it either as is the whole 9 yards or short of the 40 feet. Because right now, the property itself is 9/10 of an acre. It has city water and sewer available to it.
Mhm.
If we sold off a 40 by 175 to increase the Dewdrops parking, that's only 1600ths of an acre, so that'd still leave 7/10 of an acre, give or take.
Mhm.
75, 3/4 of an acre for a lot parcel.
Yeah. It won't add much time difference though to go from the shop out here out in that direction.
Because the way the greater districts run,
Mhm.
Libertyville's kind of at the southwest edge of it, whereas the main shop's at the north edge of it. So
Right.
you don't pick up a lot of extra travel time.
Okay.
okay. Good idea.
Whether he starts in Liberty.
Sounds good.
Starts at Fairfield and works out from that direction. Yeah. Let's see what else we have going on.
Area service classification. 30957.
We've got, went through our annual drug abuse awareness and reasonable suspicion training last week. That was myself, Thomas, Billy, and Bub, so that we are in compliance with the Civil Rights Act and state law on making sure that we are aware. And
Speaking of that,
Proper.
Wednesday meeting is still on. Is that a
Yes.
teleconference?
that is a
or-
teleconference
Okay.
Wednesday. That's my next item.
That's overhead on you.
Yeah, with Steve Kerber from the Iowa Civil Rights Division.
Yep.
And as near as I can tell, that's just to refresh us on the Title VI reporting requirements.
Mhm.
The state is supposed to review it once every 10 years. So they want to make sure that we've got everything on board the way we're supposed to. And so we're going to meet with him. Darren and I believe we're going to meet with him on teleconference
Yeah.
Wednesday for a couple hours.
Are you on that, Darren?
Yeah, I am.
And
I've got a
And then
marker on my calendar.
we'll have a formal meeting later in March, I believe,
Mhm.
for the final official review.
Right.
Uh,
This again was something that the Iowa Civil Rights Unit only has two individuals that do this across the state, and they haven't done it for a long time. It's something that should be done at a minimum every 10 years. And Pat McVan, after looking at all the paperwork, said he has not seen that in the time that he's been here. And Pat's been around for 20 or more years here. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what this is all really about anyway.
Most of it is to make sure that the secondary roads department is following the appropriate procedures for review of subcontractors, the EEO,
Mhm.
equal employment opportunity reporting and posting the contractors are supposed to do, and that we're recording that we have their paperwork in order. A lot of this will be more important as we start looking at receiving federal funds again.
Sure.
So we want to make sure we have everything in order so we don't have any stumbling blocks on that.
Good job.
Later, they kind of slapped us upside the head, didn't have a clue what he was talking about when he contacted us.
Yeah, I know, and made it sound like it was dire.
Yeah, it sounded a lot more daunting than after visiting with him than what it appears it will be.
Right.
Later this week, Wednesday through Friday, is the Greater Iowa Asphalt Conference over in Des Moines. It's an educational presentation and conference about basically secondary road construction and maintenance.
Great.
Myself and Thomas and Keaton will be going over to that.
Where is it held at?
It's held at the Airport Holiday Inn,
Oh, okay. South side of town.
south side of town. I may be biased. I was chairman of the committee that put that
I
on
was gonna
for
say, you could probably,
15 or 14 years. But
Probably haven't already memorized.
the nice thing about it is the committee tries to find new and innovative procedures that are going on. So to maintain the value to the attendees.
Mhm.
With COVID, it had a virtual conference last year, but prior years it had attendance of 500 to 700 attendees.
Wow.
And I think there's some good programs for the guys to go to for leadership and also construction. And there's a couple I'm moderating a ethics forum and then also a road rehab. Whereas moderator, all I do is introduce the speakers, but those are the two,
There you go.
the two tracks I'm interested in.
good job.
And then what else do I have on my list here for you guys?
Titan machine.
Titan machinery. The tractor that we were talking about 2 weeks ago blew through our budget well before bid date, so we passed on that. But the roller that we were planning on buying for our road rock program this year, the guys went up and inspected that at Titan Machinery. They brought it down for us to look at, and at $56,000, it was a heck of a buy compared to the comparable Caterpillar unit at $96,000. So basically the same piece of equipment with a little different shade of yellow.
So tractor, are you still looking?
We're looking at the tractor, but it's not urgent. We have two. It would be handy to have that third, and that was the plan when they traded off. They had a smaller tractor that was suitable for pulling a small mower or a seeder, a whirlybird seeder.
What size of tractor are you looking for?
International tractor guy, about a 40 horse, I think, 40 or not. It's not right.
So you're looking for a mid-size.
A mid-size tractor, something that's large enough to pull that 3-stage mower. So it has to have some fairly good oomph and a PTO system and hydraulics on it.
Mhm.
Brand new, they're in the $150,000 to $200,000 range. We're looking for good used, and we want to stick close to that $50,000 to $60,000 budget. They're out there, but right now they're not.
I was gonna say,
We're-
good luck in today's market.
We were probably 6 months late on getting that. We should have done it last summer before things started going up, but the nice thing is we don't need it. We can get by without it, without spending the money. We can wait until
We don't
next
need it
visit.
immediately.
We don't need it immediately.
Right.
We can get
We
by.
do need it, but
It's just
Yeah.
not, it's not as efficient, because now instead of running 3 mower operations during the summer, we'll run 2 and then swap the 1 unit as it becomes more convenient or more useful. So we will be restricted on what mowing we do a little bit this coming season,
okay.
but that's not the end of the world. We'll get by. I think the only other thing I have is the wage steps, service steps for the employees on the road crew. September.
That's number 2 on the agenda. or the next one.
Yeah. I was just looking at physical damage insurance purchase protection plan. Is that with, or what? Here's copies of this.
Oh, was that for the?
That was in your packet that you gave.
That's part of the stuff with that's
There we go.
with the tractor.
Okay.
That's just a certificate of insurance for it. Yeah, that just came with it. We climbed that.
Okay. All righty.
Thank you.
So there was one other thing. I had a county city public works employee from Lockridge called to complain about one of the level C routes that we have. The owner on the south side of Old 34 west of town parks a semi occasionally on their half of the level C road, and he called to complain that they were parking there. And I told him, as long as you can get by,
It's a
And they're
level
not-
C road.
they're not blocking your access to get, because they have a pump station there. I told them that as far as I can tell from the code, our ordinances in the state code, that they have the right basically to use that as long as they don't block your access.
How do they park anything on level C road this time of year?
Well, it's old 34, it's paved,
Yeah, it's the,
so they just park it on the
But
south
it's
side.
still level C. I'm thinking level C, the gated.
Yeah, well,
gated dirt road.
it is gated, but it's not a dirt road.
Got it.
It's a dead end.
Okay,
The railroad has half of it, and then there's 2 landowners on the south side.
Sure. Okay.
Just in case somebody calls to complain, that was what I told them, and as near as I can tell, that's.
Mhm.
Good to know.
Okay.
That way you don't get blindsided.
Yeah.
So we are going to discuss and consider a wage rate and classification change for 4 secondary road department full-time employees. They are Dylan Kaufman, Byron Davis, Ben Dunkelberger, and Jared Hillwig. And they will be becoming equipment operator and equipment maintenance
Yeah,
mechanic. Okay.
It's part of the 4-step wage system.
Right.
So they have new skills and
Mhm.
They're going through their training and doing quite well. Bill is very happy with them.
good.
Good.
We're very fortunate. to get those gals on our team.
Okay, so could I have a motion to approve these pay wage increases?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Drish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yes, sir. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Klein.
Dwayne Kittens with you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe some of the other attendants.
I've got more.
Oh, all right. I'm not gonna make you ask twice.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
It's back. All right. So, move on. We're going to discuss and consider the Title VI coordinator. This is something that we were talking about just a little bit ago with, I believe this is something that goes along with the civil rights stuff, Title VI. And Dwayne and I will be on a call with Steve Kerber from the Iowa Civil Rights Office on Wednesday. And then we'll have one more meeting with them towards the end of March. So that's just kind of the discussion that goes along with it. We've got a copy of all of that paperwork here at the office right now, already printed out and ready to go. I'll be a signator on that as the chairman of the board, and Dwayne will be the other signator on it. The coordination is probably going to be taking place through Dwayne's office because it pertains mostly for them and contractors that work for the county government, secondary roads, to make sure that they're in compliance with civil rights issues.
Good.
And that kind of thing.
Thank
So,
you.
We have Scott Rutherford down.
right, but I've already
That's why I
talked
think
to,
this is taking him off and having.
right, yeah, and I've already discussed that with Steve, Mr.
Okay.
Kerber. So, well, like I said, we have a teleconference with him on Wednesday, and then we'll also meet with him in person towards the end of the month. So we'll have it all rectified by that point in time. We're going to step over number 3 here, which is consider departmental reappropriation resolution. And we'll take that up in a public or a board workshop at 10:30 this morning. And we'll have some more discussion on that. So
So if we take any action, it'd be next week then.
right, the action
Or
will be
some other
taken at another time.
Yeah, I think we've got some steps to go through before.
We
that.
gotta
Right,
figure-
we do.
Learn more about it.
So that will
Jared,
move to that
Did we
point.
skip over the discussion, consider the Title VI coordinator?
That's what I just talked about.
Okay,
Rather than Scott Reniker being the one to sign off on that paperwork, I would be the one to sign off on it. And then Dwayne would be the one that really administers the program because it works closely with the contractors that work mostly through the secondary roads department and their compliance with civil rights requirements. Okay, let's move on to look at proposal for Jefferson County Courthouse on mini split project. This is money that we have in our budget. This is money that we have in our budget. We set aside, I believe, $26,000 for the budget. The bid that has come in from Happy Land Plumbing and Heating was $13,327. And that will take place in 3 offices upstairs, the current mental health office, and their front office, also the office directly below that, which is occupied by Judge Cronk for the court, so that we have proper heating and cooling in those areas. Both of them in the summertime, they're extremely hot, and in the wintertime, they're extremely cold. And we don't encourage the use of space heaters in the building here. If you do use a space heater, at the end of the day, unplug it before you go home. And don't plug it into power strips or extension cords or anything like that. Plug it directly in an outlet on the wall if you're going to use something like that. And everybody in the building understands that now. So I would take a motion to approve the hiring of Happy Land Plumbing and Heating.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Where is Happy Land? Is that where Jagan used to be?
That's Jagan's former business.
Do we take bids on this stuff ever?
Yes, we did. And they're,
Was this the only bid?
yes, it was.
Okay.
It's also a local contractor. So
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
he's,
Bid.
the guy that runs this company is the same one that's come out and helped install the initial ones that are here in the building, and also has maintained them over the years. So we feel pretty good about what's going on. He's also been in contact with the architect who designed the systems and the plans for installing them, and has gotten some questions clarified with them. And that's when he came back with these bid. So we have that now. So I believe I just have to sign one of these.
I thought they usually need 2 copies. So
Well,
it's up to you.
I'll keep them signable then. Okay, let's discuss and consider change in FMLA reporting procedures.
No, we didn't.
No,
vote.
we should vote on that.
We need a motion. It needs
I
a
have a
second.
motion from Sandquist,
Second.
second from Drish to hire Happy Land Plumbing and Heating of Fairfield here to do mini split work in 3 offices here at the courthouse. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, so we'll move on to this FMLA reporting procedures. These were items that we discussed when our HR consultant was here 2 weeks ago, I believe it was now, and spoke to us about the procedures that we've been doing with the Family Medical Leave Act. And the change would be in how we are actually reporting it, doing a 12-month rolling reporting rather than a fiscal year type reporting, where if someone gets injured, your 12 months would start from there forward for the FMLA. Whereas now, if you happen to have an injury in June, you would have to resubmit all your paperwork again in July and move forward from that. Isn't that
And that's
kind of
what we're
correct,
on this too.
Melissa?
It's not just injury.
We can, with what we have now, if you get hurt on a certain date, we can go backwards off some days, sick days.
Mhm.
So it gets really complicated, so that's why.
Right.
we wanted to
This-
switch to the forward.
Trying
This
to
just
uncomplicate.
streamlines and clarifies the process and makes the record keeping. And it also meets the federal guidelines.
Right, and you're correct. It's not just injuries on the job injuries. It's also illnesses or surgeries that people need to have, like knees or those kind of things. And filling that paperwork out so that it doesn't provide pay for the person when they're off from work. FMLA does not do that. FMLA just guarantees that your job will still be there and available for you at the time of your return to work. So we need to remain clear on that. So we have a folder that was given to the supervisors at the time it was talked to us about from our human relations director. So we should all be fairly well versed with what's going on. I would like to make a motion that we change these procedures to what's been proposed.
So moved.
Is that a second? I made the motion. Okay. Motion from Hamilton, a second from Drish. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Make committee reports. So who wants to begin?
The only committee I went to, the meeting last week that I had was the 1015 transit. And the major topic, well, I guess there were two major topics. One is the ongoing effort to get the city of Ottumwa and 1015 to get the money, because I guess there's over $400,000 that things should be having.
Mhm.
The other thing they talked about at length, there was a fire in one of the buses, and you know that already, Darren.
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
But the very important thing is that driver had the gumption to. They were trying to get a guy in a wheelchair off this smoking bus
Mhm.
before it burst into flames. And there was something that the wheelchair got caught on as they exited because of I don't know, it was in the way. But they got him out right before the thing burst into flames. And
That's great.
that's great.
Yeah, it is.
But as usual, there is so many, they need parts, they need, to fix these. That particular bus will never be, it's gone.
No, it's totaled
Yeah.
from what I saw in the KTV.
But
news.
the main thing is they're still trying to get parts for all their other vehicles, and it's really putting them in a crunch. They're looking to hire folks.
Mhm.
Whether they're retired with a part-time job or whatever, they need help.
As long as they have a chauffeur's type license,
Yeah, I
correct?
guess if you-
CDL.
They need a CDL if they drive a bus, and there's so many people that they transport.
Right.
But if it's just that car, you do not need a CDL.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
911 Monday, yeah. And that was mostly to approve their budget for the next year. Sheriff Richmond was elected chair and vice chair at Area 15 Tuesday. And we had a really nice presentation, as I mentioned during Dwayne's segment, about the RPA funds. And so that was helpful. Got an email, which I forwarded to you two and Melissa, this Andrew Morph, just wanted some information, regarding doing any health plan.
Mhm.
And I told him I didn't think we were going to be making any immediate changes, but he wants to just do his due diligence, which is what we need to do.
Right.
And on Friday, I found out I've been appointed to the Justice Advisory Board by the governor, and it requires Senate approval. So, and it's a 20, I think there's 28 members and 9 appointees of the governor.
Mhm.
And it develops short and long-term goals to improve the criminal and juvenile justice systems. Identify and analyze justice system issues, develop and assist others in implementing recommendations and other things. So we'll see.
Okay,
That's what I know at this point.
all right. I did not have any committee reports. I did attend the farm show this
Oh, yeah.
last weekend, and it was a really good time. There was a lot of people there. Earlier in the morning, there was quite a few. Dee was at the booth from 9 o'clock
To 12.
until I showed up at 12. And then I was at the booth from 12 until 3 in the afternoon when the displays closed. And again, it was very well attended, not just by people from here in Fairfield, but I met people from Lee County and Des Moines County that were here for it, as well as Davis and Van Buren and a lot of the area counties come and enjoy the farm show that they have here in Fairfield. We, of course, as the board, give $1,000 to help promote the farm show. It's done under the same principle as we give money to the county fair every year. So that's the way we kind of look at it around here. We want to promote farming as much as we can as a board, and we encourage these kind of things all the time.
Yeah, and the sheriff's department was also in the booth
Yes.
with us and did a great job interacting with the public. So,
Yeah. A lot of curiosity in the drone that the sheriff's department has and how they use it and where they use it at and all of those types of things. The public was pretty impressed with it. We had several drone pilots come by and want to look at it and get a little more information on what type of technology that we're using on it. Found it interesting that we have an infrared shows heat so that you can track someone through a densely wooded area, still see them where they're at, even though you can't see directly through it if it was even sunshiny. So, and the sheriff's department has used it several times. We have 4 deputies that are actually trained to be able to use it. They do training once a month with it. And they also have used it on several criminal investigations so far as well. So it's been a good tool. It was one that was acquired through donations that were made to the sheriff's department. It wasn't something that was purchased by the county directly. And we want to thank everybody that donated at the time to be able to get that, because it has been a really good tool for the sheriff's department to have. So, all right. Any public comments from anyone?
Oh, come on, man.
I know we've got some guests here today that from Leadership Fairfield
Oh,
attending, because one of
okay.
your things that you do as part of that is attend a government meeting. Right? So welcome.
Thank you.
So, yeah, welcome. Just to let everybody see you. This will be on YouTube.
So were you
So-
guys part of the ones that came here the one Friday to talk to Darren?
We were.
Mhm.
And you want to come back?
Yeah.
Great.
We chose you.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Good.
Dee, I will be sending you an email later just to get some more information.
Yeah, I can give you a copy of this.
So you were already appointed by the governor, and has that passed through the Senate?
Is this,
Not yet.
this part of public comment? No? Okay, you raised your hand with public comment. That's what we're in right now. And we've talked about this as far as reporting. You can ask as a reporter after the meeting's over with a person directly involved in something. So that's kind of how we've had reporters work with us in the past. And we want to continue that same thing. We're not trying to stop you from interviewing us at any point in time. We're more interested in if there is any public comment. And we have Chris Estel with us, who's the Director of Public Health. We have Thomas Ensmeyer, who is the assistant to Dwayne out at the County Road Department. We have Marianne Nordyke and Tom Drish on with us as well. And if anyone has any comments, please speak up.
Hey, Darren. Good morning, you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to be making some changes to our COVID walk-in clinics. Currently, we're offering those every Tuesday during regular business hours. We are going to change that effective tomorrow and mirror our immunization clinics for kids. So vaccines will be available on the first and third Tuesdays only. We've seen such a significant decrease. It doesn't justify having staff members available blocking out that time. And I'm going to put a notice on Facebook, but we've seen significant decreases in vaccine demand. So still have it available, just kind of changing up the hours a little bit.
Okay. I
Okay.
still have a bruise on my arm from last Tuesday.
I know. Sometimes it's rough, man. Sometimes it's rough. I don't know. I had a knot the last time I got
I
one.
did too.
That's just me.
It was
That's
a
just
knot
me.
and it lumped up, turned red, and now it's kind of bruised.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to blame Mandy or if it was just me.
I think it's just the way it rolls sometimes. Do you guys have any questions for public health? We're still handing out the test kits. We're still looking at doing that daily from 10 to noon. But again, we'll probably be making some changes because everybody can get test kits sent directly to them to their homes. We're trying to do best use of time. I don't know if you guys know, I had another employee resign. Her last day will be Thursday. So I was out last week sick. So I'll send you guys an email with more of that information, just as a courtesy. So, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Chris.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hearing no other public comments, we'll move on to allow claims and approve reports.
So
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Sandquist, a second from Drish. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss and consider nuisance properties. I have no update on the nuisance property yet at this point in time. I'm going to talk to Bruce Hudson about that later today and see where we stand on the property to the west of Fairfield on Old Highway 34. So do we have anything else to come before the board this morning? Okay, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
Okay, I have a motion from Grish, a second from Sandquist to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Have a good day.